Hey, welcome to the Extreme channel. Apologies in advance about the lighting, the fact you can't see the top of my head because it's awesome, and the sound. But we're set up in an unusual area because, to be frank, if I wanted to move these, I would probably hurt myself because it's just too big.
That's what she said.
But if you're a follower of the channel, you know what is going to happen right now. We have two similar statues. They're both 1/4 scale custom Magneto on throne statues, which means we have to compare and contrast them, even though that kind of means the same thing. But for us, it means an extreme rumble or an Xtrumble, where we take a look at different features and we determine a winner within each category and then an overall winner. And I decide which one I'm going to keep. So I've reviewed both of these in full detail. Most recently, a few weeks ago, I got in this huge one, which we're going to call the Sentinel piece because it's on a Sentinel. Write that down. And then the one that I can't even see that looks like a miniature version over there, we're going to call the Xmen one because he's on a throne of Xmen pieces. And then we have a little Iron Studios Stanley in the middle just for fun. But I'm a huge fan of Magneto in statue form. I've owned over 25 Magneto statues, and I think I'm down to 3, including these two right here. The other one I still own is one of the originators, in my opinion, the king of Magneto statues, this guy right here. It's in one of my first cringe-worthy videos. They're still cringe-worthy today, but that was one of the first ones when I started the channel years ago. That is displayed with my X-Men. These are displayed with my throne pieces, but again, I'm only going to keep one, and today's Rumble may or may not determine the winner, because sometimes there's other factors we consider when we're talking about, should I keep this statue? But let's start off with the concept of both of these, and I think it's pretty cool on both accounts. So they're both Magneto on throne. That's pretty even. They both have the ability to show him levitating something. They both have different display options we're going to look at. One has made a throne out of Sentinels. And as you look at that, part of it makes sense, part of it doesn't, because Sentinels are not magnetic. Otherwise, they're kind of useless against Magneto. So Trask wouldn't have created them magnetic, maybe at the beginning. And we see that in the films. We see that a little bit in the cartoons and sometimes in the comics. But it's still cool. And how they made it, he's actually sitting in the Sentinel's mouth. And I don't think we've ever seen a Sentinel statue in quarter scale with both hands and head, which we do see here. So I think that's pretty unique and pretty cool. Let's jump to the concept of the other one. What I love about this is the Sentinel piece has been done before, not only with Magneto destroying a Sentinel, as I've owned many of them, but Magneto with a Sentinel and a throne. This one, the throne is made up of X-Men pieces. You see parts of the mansion, you see parts of the X-Wing, although I think that's Star Wars, the X-Jet, if you will. You see pieces from some of the characters, including Cyclops' visor and Cerebro. And it has this really cool floating effect, and I like that it's actually high up. This is where he actually destroyed everybody, and he's sitting all high and mighty, almost like the Volturi. So I think, in my opinion, they are both incredibly well done concepts, and both probably two of the best concepts ever. But I'm going to give the concept to the X-Men one, simply for the fact it hasn't been done before like that, and it's unique. Although, I would say this is the best Magneto Sentinel throne. And you're like, Mr. X, are there really that many options? Yes, there are. Display options is something we talk about a lot. So both of them have portrait switch outs, and the X-Men one actually has some hand switch outs. This one just has portrait. They both have light up features. We're going to look at the portraits and the hand switch outs, but really quick on the light up features. This one, I haven't ordered the battery. After I filmed the original review of this, about 4 days after that, they posted that here's the battery. I just haven't ordered it yet, but I do want to see what it looks like. So if you want to see, check out my social media because I'll post pictures and or video on there. The link for those is in the description below. But it lights up, I believe, the eyes, the mouth, where the other one has a light up feature for some of Magneto's portraits, and I never got the batteries for those either. So we can't see the light up features today, but let's look at the portrait differences. So they both have a grimacing portrait, as you can see right here. However, the one on the right, the X-Men one, actually lights up the eyes. Then they both have more of a calm portrait. One has whited out eyes, one has regular pupils in it. And then they both have one without a helmet. Again, I think the ones on the right are pretty far superior just looking at them. And also the one on the right, which is the X-Men one, has hand switch outs. One where he can levitate his helmet, which I love. It's not new, but it's cool. or he can actually levitate the helmet on Cerebro, which I haven't seen before. So that is very impressive as well. So for display options, they have almost the same ones, but there's more on the X-Men, and I think they're a little bit better. So for display options, we go with the X-Men. Along with display options, let's talk about displayability. So when I started statue collecting, statues were like, a quarter scale was like this big. And they've gotten bigger and more elaborate over the years, which is really exciting and cool, but it really affects displayability. Can you display this easily? And as you're looking at these, it's kind of obvious which one has a better displayability factor. And if it's not obvious for you, it's the X-Men one. This one has to have a custom cabinet. It's almost 36 inches deep. Another problem with this, if you set this next to other pieces, this Sentinel one, it dwarfs the other pieces. If you recall, if you saw some of my room tour collections like this video right here, that guy looked pretty large. Now he looks tiny. And I'll tell you this, they both have the same amount of presence. Because presence in the statue is binary. It's either yes, they're here, or no, they're not. This one is a lot bigger though. Some people like size, my wife does, but I think displayability also goes to the X-Men. Now let's talk about paint and sculpt. Both are done tremendously well. And I think, honestly, they're pretty damn close. So I'm not going to dive into those categories today, but I do want to dive into one thing that is pertaining to the sculpt, but it's kind of a conceptual thing. It's Magneto's body. So for some reason, in comics and statues, this old Magneto guy has a 12-pack. He's always over-muscularized and just crazy ripped built, which doesn't make sense to me because he doesn't even have to move around. He actually flies with his belt as it's made of metal. So he probably doesn't go to the gym much. So here's the difference. You see the one on your left is actually the one in the Sentinel, in case you can't tell from the background. It is way too muscularized, in my opinion. I remember when I did the review for the X-Men one on the right, I was like, finally, they didn't over-muscularize it, and I actually like that better. So when it comes to anatomy, I actually give the anatomy to the X-Men as well. Now, it's been a long time since you've seen an Xtrumble that is such a runaway. Let's talk about value. So these are both customs, means they're private unlicensed commissions. If you want to buy one, they're all sold out. You have to find someone selling. I'm going to sell one of them. We're going to find out at the end of the video. But they made right around 70 of both. The Sentinel was about $2,500 all in shipped. The other one was about $1,800, which makes sense just from a cost production and a shipping standpoint. I think the value goes to the X-Men one because it's significantly cheaper and the resale on that is a lot easier. So we've went over a number of categories today, and now we're going to go to an overall winner. Now, just like in all my videos that I do reviews, at the end we do an X factor. What has the X factor? And this is kind of an unknown metric. It's when I look at it, is it amazing? Does it wow me? And when I look at both of these, I'm like, which one do I want to keep? Well, from a logical perspective, the X-Men one ran away with every category winning it. However, with the X Factor perspective, this Sentinel on Throne is absolutely amazing. So I give the X Factor to the Sentinel on Throne, although I think they both certainly have it. But is that enough to justify for me to keep this? No, it's not. However, if you remember the assembly video for this is that it came in a giant crate. A crate that was as tall as I am. And reshipping that, unless you own a freight company or have some cool tie-ins, is prohibitive from a cost standpoint, almost. So unless someone wants to pay me 5 G's for this Sentinel one, I'm probably gonna keep it. Yeah. Trying to do a handshake with the Sentinel. Which if you watched my for sale videos recently that I do at the end of the month, you know that the other one was for sale, so this may not be a shocker for you. But which one would you keep? Throw that down in the comments below as we strive for 50,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yes, we're still giving away $1,000 statues at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. You have to make sure you're subbed to the channel, you like the video, and then leave a comment. We're going to pick a random comment on a random video and give away those statues. In the meantime, check out some of these other videos and my social media. Talk to you soon. Take care.